Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Gourmet Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_Access. Joined alongside Tim in Green Bay. We got Jacob in Wisconsin. We got Emilio in Tennessee. We're going to try to keep his shirt on tonight. We'll see what happens there. But hopefully everybody had an awesome day on this glorious July. About to say January. Don't feel like no January out there. July the 28th. Obviously the first padded practice of training camp. We got a lot to get into. We're going to briefly hit on the Elgton Jenkins return. Obviously, we did a video earlier. You guys can go check out my take on that. I did an extensive deep dive. I want to get the guys' opinion on that. Also, we are going to talk about the Nate Hobbs hit on Marshawn Lloyd, which Tim was kind of flared at training camp. There he was. So we got that. We're going to hit on it. We're going to give you an injury update, and we're also kind of run through some of the tweets from the beat writers earlier today, just giving kind of a play-by-play on all of everything, all the news that happened at training camp practice. So if you guys would first do that YouTube stuff for us, hit like, hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you for making us a part of your afternoon. Welcome into PTA. Listen, we're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We're just fans, just like you in here talking Packers on a daily basis. If you like live Packers daily content, make sure you hit subscribe. If you like pregame shows, make sure you hit subscribe. If you like postgame shows, you got it. Hit subscribe. Film breakdown, we do it all here. So appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. Gents, we doing okay? Everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Glad to be here.
Jacob's doing here. This has become a tradition. So bad. All right, it's all good. Here we go. Everybody on the podcast, what just happened? Jacob's blood pressure is off. That's all it is. It'll settle in, Jacob. You know how it does. So, all right, let's dive into the Elgton Jenkins conversation real quick. Again, I'm not going to give my take. Again, I did it earlier on that video. I did a live stream a couple hours ago. I want to get your all's take. Obviously, Elgton Jenkins returned to camp here returned to practice, I should say, for the first padded practice today. A lot of stuff kind of unfolded. Just to briefly give you guys a recap, he said he thought about the financial implications of moving from left guard to center at one point, but isn't anymore. He's focused on being able to perform for the team. He's saying the back injury was legit. He's also saying he missed OTAs because he had a family matter that he had to tend to. So everything he's saying is he wasn't holding out for more money, but he did approach them early on, which kind of lines up with the report. I think Jason Wilde reported on that first. So probably got that information from Elgton's agent, I'm just guessing. But again, Elgton showing up to camp, everything's good to go. Also, another thing he mentioned, I want to get y'all's take on. Jenkins said he told the Packers last season that he eventually wanted to play center, his main position in college. Said he thought it would help the Packers get their best five out there. Said he took a little while to agree to the switch after team asked him to in the exit meeting. So, again, there's no other way of putting this. I'll start with you, Jacob, if you can hear me nod. Yeah, you're good, ain't you? You looked at me. All right. So, the main thing that stood out to me here, Jacob, is Elgton going to the team and saying, hey, look, we need to get our best five out there. I can play center. Says a lot about how they felt about Josh Myers, right? Like Elgton could see it, the writing on the wall, like, hey, look, our center position just isn't good enough right now. What's your all's take on everything we just covered? We can hit contract, whatever you want to do. Jacob, go ahead, man.
Yeah, it was actually pretty telling. I listened to that interview with Elgton. And it is, again, just to the media tried to throw a bunch of fire onto this story. And I don't, obviously you guys may know this about me. I'm not a big fan of the media, either side. You know what I mean? So we learned, like you said, that he actually asked the Green Bay Packers organization last year that he could move to center. It wasn't like they forced him to. They asked him. The media today in that press conference really tried to keep nudging him, almost trying to get him to say something that was almost like detrimental to the Packers, asking him if he's worried about a pay cut, all this kind of stuff. I think that what he did was answer it in such a great way, like a regular Packer would, like a consummate professional. He kind of just blew that off and said, I'm here to be a team player. And when the times come to get the money, I'll get the money kind of thing. And I'm more happy than anything that he seems like he's ready to go. That if he did have a back issue, that seems like it's kind of shored up. He had some family stuff, it sounds like, that he had to take care of. And you see the selflessness in a guy like Elgton Jenkins that says, I'm willing to move to center. Like you said, I think he probably did see the writing on the wall with Josh, and understood that our best five, he even highlighted how we got Jordan, how we got Belton, guys that are high draft picks that need to get on this line. And he said, I'm willing to move to center if that means we have the best front five. And I really love that.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, Emilio, I know you've been out of the loop for a little bit. You've been back up north. Did they treat you okay up there, man? You good?
Oh, yeah, I did all right. Yeah, I wasn't used to, Clay. You give people the two hand or the two finger while you're driving to say hello. They get mad at you for doing that up north. So
do they really?
Yeah. They get they get worried. Like, why are you waving at me? What I do wrong? Running them down.
What? You act like you know me?
Yeah,
you could act like you know me.
Crackhead. You got hold to the wrong stuff.
Right there, Tim. Emilio, does this picture not make you feel a lot better just seeing Elgton Jenkins at the center position, dude?
Absolutely. I'm honestly hoping that Elgton could just figure out half of our silent count issue that we had this past year. I mean, I was pulling my hair out the fact that we had those false start penalties, like not even able to get the snap count right. You got dudes on different side, even if it's a young guy next to Elgton. I think that he can just kind of control that huddle a little bit more. Because, dude, he is touching the ball every time, just like Jordan Love. I think he needs to kind of have that mentality, have that sort of drive to be like, all right, I'm gonna take control of these front five. These are my guys. We're gonna make this wall. We're protecting Jordan, right? So I do think that Elgton being there is gonna hopefully tie all that together, get him up to the second level. He can do all those things, but and just being the team player that he is, to be willing and able to, hey, I'll move to center, wherever you need me, coach. Put me on. I'll play nose guard if you need me on the other side, whatever.
Yeah. Tim, what do you think about this, man? I mean, obviously getting your starting center back in there, and you got a little bit of a look at Sean Ryan. If there's any positive, I think, coming out of this, we gleaned a little bit more information that seems like Jacob Monk has slid back a little bit, and Sean Ryan's going to be your backup center is what it kind of feels like, which I think that's the way it was last year predominantly, but seems like they're going to roll with it that way. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I noticed that a little bit with the team drills too. Sean Ryan was the center for the O-line group for most of those drills today. And then I love this shot right here on the Patreon. I mean, look at the confidence in Jay Money right here, getting behind Big E there at center. This is a good day, man. I've been saying this for a while, that if we can get consistent at the center position, that'll just help Jordan's confidence. And, much to the point of like, let's clear up some of this communication, and you got a veteran there at center now moving over. He can do this. He can handle it. And big shout out to Big E, we can speculate all we want, but at the end of the day, the pads just came on, and here he is ready to go. And we're ready to go bring Lombardi home. And I love it.
And think about that connection of dude already being there. Like, I mean, he's going to be under Elgton Jenkins for, I don't know, probably north of 1,000 times in, the next month and a half. I mean, it's like you got to be comfortable with the dude that's handing you the ball to start the play. I love that Elton's been there and that, he has that pedigree in Green Bay for that.
Yeah, and again, just to re-emphasize here, with the Packers, at least to the best of our knowledge, they did not add any guaranteed money. So if the contract still stands the way that it originally did, what you're looking at is his cap hit this year, $17.6 million. Next year, if they decide to move on, they can cut him. They'll incur only a $4.8 million dead cap, and they'll free up $20 million in cap space. So you got to kind of weigh the pros and cons here at the end of the season. If he plays all pro, you may bring him back for that $24.8. Or probably look to bring that number down by converting some of that $18.5 million base salary to signing bonus and being able to free up some cap space, go a little cash over cap. When you look at the offensive line, according to PFF, they're suggesting it's going to be Rasheed Walker, Aaron Banks, Elgton Jenkins, Jordan Morgan, and Zach Tom, although some of the guys that are covering the team right now seem to think Sean Ryan is in the lead over Jordan Morgan at right guard currently. I'd be okay with that too. I could care less about the draft pick status, to be honest with you. I want the best five out there. And it's just nice to know that you got a first rounder waiting in the wing there. So anything – go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, I saw a couple comments saying that it looked like Elgton didn't say exactly what he wanted to say and that he was skirting around some of the issues. And a lot of people said they're not quite necessarily buying what he was saying, but just thought that he was a team player and he's kind of swallowing his pride. Did you guys get that at all? Did you get that vibe at all? To me, it seemed like that he was a little bit maybe frustrated, somewhat, but I didn't quite get that impression. I think that the guy is, playing through, or is willing to play through the adversity and kind of come out the other side and get that money. Did you sense any sort of that when he was giving his interview?
Yeah, me personally, just to be honest, Jake, dude, I can't figure out what the hell's going on in my own head most of the time. I'm not going to try to figure out what someone actually meant or what they didn't mean. It's one of my pet peeves, not anybody in the chat, but media members going, but he really meant this. How do you know that? You know what I'm saying? So I know this. What I gleaned from everything that was shared today was originally he let them know, hey, love to get some more guaranteed money, a little bit of security moving forward. But according to him, that's not what kept him out of OTAs. That was a family issue. It's not what kept him out of training camp. That was the back issue. So
I'm gonna tell you, like Chris Tucker and Friday, man, why are you always bringing up old stuff?
listen,
We talk about OTAs. We're at camp. The pads came on. Big E's at center. Hey, all is right in the world. Let's go, right?
He could be lying. I just don't. I don't know, man. I don't enjoy trying to pretend like I understand what someone's saying and they're not really meaning what they're saying. I just, like I said, man, I try to stay away from that stuff. I got too much of me to figure out rather than everything else. But I love what Ed Madden says here. Just glad to see Elgton on the field.
Amen.
And there's no hard feelings either. That's what I love about it. I was a little concerned, will this mess up the chemistry? And that's where I tip my cap to Elgton, because it'd be real easy going in there like, hey, these guys trying to hold some money, money away from me. And I will say this, somebody said earlier on the radio, I can't remember who it was. I think it was ESPN Milwaukee, somebody on there. They were like, yeah, they need to give him his money he's due. Guys, they are. This is what the contract reads. It's not like they're holding money back from him. He's asking for another bite at the apple, a little bit more guaranteed money. So, that's the way the contract was structured. And it seems like that's the way it's going to stay there. So there's your Elgton Jenkins update. Anything else on that, gents? Anything at all?
I just thought this was a funny comment by Fishy Things. He says Green Bay fans have PTSD from years of cryptic Rodgers interviews.
Yeah. But it's not just Aaron, right? I mean, it's the cryptic interview, right? You don't want to give away too much of the what do they say? You don't want to talk shop in the public eye, right? So you got to kind of use that kind of interview speak sometimes when you're talking.
You know what, Blake B, you can't be saying this stuff. He said Elgton was still disappointed in his last experience at the Oval Office. Wasn't worth the cover charge when it's rusty undercarriage and the third stringers out there. That's not true. We put on a good show. All right.
Breaking news.
Sit your butt outside.
Unbelievable, man. It always comes back to the rusty undercarriage every single time. All right, Tim, if you can get me a screen grab ready. Well, actually, I want to dive into the tempers flaring up a little bit at training camp practice today. The pads go on. I'm guessing it was over 90 degrees again.
Yep.
Listen, you're out there in full pads. Things get hot, boy. People start getting on your nerves, right? But Nate Hobbs was asked earlier in the week. Actually, I think it was 2 days ago, right? He was asked, "Hey, let's turn it down a little bit, turn it down a notch." And I know some fans got upset because Marshawn Lloyd got a little banged up from a hit he threw. We're going to dive into everything there that to the best of my knowledge, the details we could glean from that whole situation. But I want to play an audio for you guys. Tim, if you'll give me a screen grab, I'm going to play this. Okay, guys, this was from when Rodney Harrison signed with the New England Patriots. Okay, when he signed with the New England Patriots, they had let Lawyer Malloy go. Lawyer Malloy was a team captain. All right. So imagine this. They cut the team captain loose, and then they bring in another guy, and the team was pretty upset about it. They were thinking about protesting and everything because Lawyer Malloy meant that much to the team, right? Well, they bring in Rodney Harrison, and you think, okay, he's going to go in there and just let me just tiptoe in here and try to make some friends. Sounds familiar, don't it? Nate Hobbs coming in as a new free agent, right? We're talking about resetting the tone. Listen specifically to how Bill Belichick responded to Rodney Harrison being too physical in practice. And tell me if you think this is a good thing or a bad thing, what Nate Hobbs did today. Because, again, it's all about culture, right? Check this out. You're going to hear multiple Patriots. I wish I could put it up on the screen, but you guys know the copyright thing. I'll let you listen to the audio. Here we go.
My initial reaction is, wow, he's a safety. Man, he's like a strong safety. We've got a pretty good, strong safety in Lawyer Malloy.
That was Lawyer Malloy's job. That was him that came in with all the big hits and didn't care what people thought about him.
Make no mistake, Rodney Harrison is not here to feel loved.
I came with a laser focus and so much anger.
The main guy he attacked and he was on was Tom Brady.
Rodney and Tom going back and forth verbally. Just never seen Tom get rattled that bad, not even in games.
Troy Brown would come across the middle. I tried to run through Troy like he was absolutely the enemy. And then I hit Kevin Falk. And he throws the ball at me. There was fights and linemen pushing me and shoving me and punching me.
And you look over at Bill, and he would be over there with a smirk on his face and just loving it.
All right, go ahead.
Best practice player probably ever. A few feathers, not in a dirty way, just in a highly competitive way. It made everybody else better.
I've managed to, I guess, make a couple guys not like me very much, but, I don't play the game for people to like me. My mom likes me. That's all I need,
Let's go.
So, again, when you see what happened today, there's some fans like, oh, he's playing reckless. He's going to get somebody hurt and this and that.
Belt ass. BTA.
Yeah. I love it. Belt ass. Listen, we talked for so long about how this defense was soft, right?
Yep.
4 or 5 years ago, it was just like, man, we need Jacob used to say it all the time, right? It's like, man, we just need some grit. We need somebody to get angry out there a little bit, right? This comes in and sets the entire tone for camp. The first padded practice. And let's just go through what happened today, okay? We'll run through it real quick. I want to get everybody's take on it, right? And I had it run down some of the details of the entire situation, it being AI and combing through different articles, things like that, all right? So incident description. During the first padded practice on July 28th, Green Bay Packers cornerback Nate Hobbs tackled running back Marshawn Lloyd low, causing both to land on the ground. Listen, that's a cardinal sin in training camp. Stay off the ground, right? Stay off the ground. That's where people get hurt. The tackle resulted in Lloyd injuring his right leg, leading him to sit out the rest of the practice. This action occurred despite Coach LaFleur's explicit instructions before the practice, where he emphasized not tackling to the ground and keeping players on their feet. The hit happened within the first 3 plays of the 11-on-11 drill and would have been considered a textbook tackle in game. All right. Players had
BTA. You know what I'm saying?
And he is saying PTA in case y'all are wondering. All right. Marshawn Lloyd did not require further examination in the Don Hudson Center and watched the rest of the practice still in his pads. Lloyd did not appear to be limping as he walked around, but the severity of his injury was unclear, as the Packers do not update injuries on the day they happen. All right. Lloyd had previously suffered multiple injuries that sidelined him for most of his rookie season, and it showed promise with good-looking runs in non-padded practice. Love this shot right here, by the way, at Carrington Valentine and Nate Hobbs. These dudes, I'm telling you, they're going to be a menace. I think they're going to be just partners in crime in this DB room. Reactions. So Nate Hobbs was benched for the next series following the incident. Hobbs acknowledged that the hit was not intentional, stating, quote, "It wasn't malicious. I didn't see him until the last second. I got off the blocker. I just saw him. He got low and I got low, and he hit me just as I got low. I didn't get a chance to ask him about it, but I can't do that."
Built ass. BTA.
Goes on to say, Hobbs admitted that it being early in the first padded practice might have led him to play with too much edge, saying, quote, "Given it was the first day of pads, I came out fired up. I had that extra gear in me, but I had already been told to tone it down and heard about it again from LaFleur." Hobbs vowed to tone it down, stating, "It's hard, but it's what we get paid to do. By any means necessary, you got to find a way to do that, and I'm going to do that. I know how to do that. I'm not a rookie in the NFL. I can't do it." All right. He said he also mentioned he would continue his physical style in games, but would find a way to back off during practices, as demonstrated when he broke up a pass to Josh Jacobs without running over him, saying, quote, "I just have to find a way to do that." The fact that he's having to really put an emphasis on this, Tim, and turn it off. You ran into him after practice, right? You talked to him. Tell him about that exchange, Tim.
I was going to keep that between me and
Mr.
Hobbs. But,
okay. All right. No. We should.
No, it's all good. I'll say this. I I was waiting for the air conditioning to kick in the vehicle because it was pretty hot in there when I got back to the car. And so I was kind of waiting outside, checking the updates. And I'm seeing the vans drive by full of players being shuttled. And lo and behold, I look up and there's Nate Hobbs carrying his own helmet, walking barefoot with his cleats in his other hand, no shirt on, all by himself, looking pissed off at the world. And I had a 2-minute conversation with Nate Hobbs, and let's just say, it's real. It's not a facade. This guy's the real deal. And belt to ass is the theme for 2025
Belt
for
to
the second.
So, let me get your all's original take here real quick. We'll start with you this time, Emilio. What do you think about it? Do you like it? And listen, it's okay if you don't like it. I get it, man. You're risking hurting players, and we know Marshawn Lloyd was a little banged up. Obviously, he's missed a lot of time. He came out of the gate early in this offseason, and they had to hold him back a little bit already. But what's your take, man?
I mean, I like it, but I was also one of the kids that was trying to crack skulls at all times. But I mean, you got a guy like that, it's hard to tone it back. You're itching now. They've been working out for a month probably plus. You're itching to get some hits, upper thumps or whatever, uppers, pads. You're never wearing the knee pads. You're not wearing the thigh pads, all that stuff. Not like they wrap up like that anymore, really. But you get a thud. I mean, if you're off balance and you're Marshawn Lloyd and you get thudded up top and you fall down, I mean, that's going to happen, dude. I mean, you got to kind of practice like you play. So I'm pretty cool, honestly, with Hobbs doing that. I like hitting, and I think that, if you don't come with kind of that mentality, it's easier to, tone it back than it is to turn it up. So I would much rather him have that and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yeah, that's a great point. I was just thinking that we talked about that last night, right, Clay? Like you'd rather have to tell a guy to dial it back a little bit than try and coax that extra little bit out of him, And I think Nate Hobbs will find his way here as we work through camp. Hopefully he doesn't, kill half of our offense before the season starts, No,
and that's it, Tim. And I get where Matt's coming from, right? Obviously he needs to try to keep it, but it's also Matt's kind of sitting in the back of his head like, oh, I kind of love that. I kind of love that he is.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's still got to, hold his head high for the team. But at some point, somebody needs to take a whooping to kind of, we need to get a hierarchy here just so that you can kind of feel where this team's going.
Yeah. Now, Jacob, I know you were extremely offended by Nate Hobbs and how physical he was at camp. Tell everybody why he was wrong for doing this, Jacob.
Unfortunately, I can't do that, Clayton. I am 100% on the Nate Hobbs bandwagon right now. I want more guys like him. I saw somebody in the chat say if we had, 22 players like Nate Hobbs, we'd be winning championships. I absolutely love that. I love the old school mentality. You know what? This is football, boys. We're wearing pads. We're strapping up. We're doing stuff, and we're not going to be patty caking around anymore. I'm sick of the days of stopping and waiting to make a tackle. I'm sick of the days of not being able to throw the thunder. I'm sick of the days of us not getting bloodied and bruised. Nate Hobbs comes into Green Bay and says, "No, I'm not going to sit around and again play patty cake and practice even." Exactly. I want to see. I wish that the other guys would do more of it, to be honest. And I think that he's going to be a tone setter, and that's what we need. We need somebody that, we got a tone setter in the linebacker room. We got one in the defensive line. Now we need one. We got one in the safety room. Now we got one in the cornerback room, and I'm excited about it.
Jacob, do you remember those first days of right after two-a-days and everything like that, and you finally are putting on pads? It's like, dude, I'm so mad at that dude for making me run sprints the past 3 weeks. Me, Oklahoma, let's go.
Hey, I'll never forget this. I know it's a stupid side story, but we were in practice and there was a guy named Eric Vandenhoevel. You can look him up. He's massive. He's like 6'7". He went to Wisconsin on a full ride scholarship, played all 4 years, and I decleated this dude on a walkthrough kickoff scenario, and the coach almost killed me. But then the defensive coach came up and he's like, "Hell yeah, dude, hell yeah."
It's a great point though, Jacob. Like you said, man, we've been waiting for this since last year, right? I mean, maybe even 2 years ago when we got this comment.
Yeah, our guys better wake up with their piss hot, like I said before. So.
And we are a far cry away from that secondary that we had a couple years ago. And I think the piss is definitely hot in Green Bay right now, and I love it.
Real hot.
Sure. Yeah, so reading along here, this was not the first instance of Hobbs being overly aggressive in practice. He had previously put a heavy hit on wide receiver Dontavion Wicks in a non-padded practice, which drew a lecture from LaFleur about toning it down. The Packers signed Hobbs for his physical style of play, which was evident during his 4 seasons with the Las Vegas Raiders, where he was known for doing everything to prevent receivers from catching the ball. Hobbs is expected to play a significant role in raising the level of physical play in the secondary, lining up as a starter opposite Keyshawn Nixon at outside corner. Given this is his 5th training camp, there is an expectation for Hobbs to know better and adjust the intensity during practices, as he acknowledged. Quote, at the same time, this is the 5th training camp. He should know better. He's got to learn to turn it down in practice. I wonder how Jeff Hafley feels about this. I bet he's just over there grinning just a little bit. So here's the outcomes. It says Hobbs was benched for the next series as a direct consequence of the tackle. Obviously, we talked about that. Lloyd's participation in future practices remains uncertain pending further updates on his injury status. Hobbs committed to adjusting his approach to practice to align with team expectations while maintaining his physical style for the games. Save it for Sunday, boys. Save it for Sunday, but give us a little bit every now and again. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Robert in the chat says Alexander Ravines.
Alexander for the Ravens didn't practice because of swelling in his knee today. Double checked that on NBC Sports. Jair misses practice with knee swelling. Ravens expect him back on.
Who?
Expect him back when?
Tuesday. So that's tomorrow. Hopefully it's a quick turnaround, but I don't know.
Yeah, listen, I don't wish any ill will on Jair. I know Emilio doesn't, Jacob doesn't, Tim doesn't. But man, if it does prove that, hey, look, you just can't get the knee right. I mean, we've seen it before with Bach, and that sounds a little bit like Bach, right? How it kept swelling up. They'd have to drain the knee again.
That's pretty early for it to swell up.
What's that?
That's pretty early for it to swell up.
Right. No, that's a great point. I will say this. He had nothing but positive things to say about Green Bay in his first press conference with Baltimore. So I don't want to come across like, see, Goody got it right. But early kind of feels like he might have got it right. You know,
Heard it from a fan right here.
I was the one saying for $6 million, let's bring him back, you know, but that may be $6 million we end up saving. So, all right. Anything else on the Nate Hobbs situation, man? Again, I'm excited about Hobbs. I'm not expecting him to come out and play all pro caliber. What I am expecting, though, is you're getting a physical corner who's not going to make a whole lot of mistakes, right? And someone who I think is going to be available for the most part, as long as he don't knock himself out of the lineup being too physical. I really, really think essentially what it's coming down to is we missed Jair for more than half the games, right? We talked about he missed over 50% of the snaps the last 3 years, I think, on average or whatever. So essentially Nate Hobbs is replacing Eric Stokes is the way I look at it, because we still got CV, we still got Keyshawn. That's a hell of an upgrade, boys. Hell of an upgrade from Eric Stokes to Nate Hobbs. I'm really excited about.
Hold on, Clayton. I'm getting something in my ear. We got a quote from Nate Hobbs. Hold on.
Built to ass. BTA. Know what I'm saying?
We do know what you're saying. Celestial Prophet with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, my son's speech therapist dad is Lynn Dickey. Really? That's pretty cool. Here's a guy. There you go. I remember Lynn Dickey. Kidding me? I think we got a jersey to give away, actually. Lynn Dickey jersey to give away this year. That'd be a good one.
I got my Dickey right back here.
Jacob got one with a mustard stain. He wore an autographed Lynn Dickey jersey to the football game. I said, this dude's legit.
That's the OG number 12. The first number 12.
I definitely did get mustard stains on it, though. They're not coming out.
Jacob, was there any Daddy Soda's drink that day, you think?
I don't think I did, but I also can't remember anything that happened that day. So
I don't remember.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
Celestial, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you. All right, moving along. Let's get a little injury update. How's that sound, gang? And I got to be honest with you, Tim. You may have more inside information than just this tweet from Wes Hodkiewicz, but man, things are looking pretty good so far, right?
Yep.
Packers training camp number 5 returned to action. Offensive lineman Elgton Jenkins with the back, he did the individual drills, and then linebacker Quay Walker with the ankle did individual drills as well. So they're both one step closer to being fully back, right? And then did not participate, to the best of my knowledge, was only wide receiver Christian Watson with the knee, defensive end Colin Oliver with the hammy, and then offensive lineman John Williams with the back. It's starting to look like a red shirt year for John Williams, and hopefully Colin Oliver, we can get him into the lineup at some point. But I feel like the offensive line's to the point where a 7th-round pick in John Williams ain't that big of a deal if he does just kind of red shirt this year. But keep in mind, we don't have any information on Marshawn Lloyd yet. It sounds to me, based off of everything that was tweeted out, he left practice, or he left the practice field but stayed on the sideline. So he didn't even go in and get treatment or anything, right, Tim? Is there anything else injury-wise, Tim, that might have caught your eye here today?
I think real quick with Marshawn Lloyd, I mean, my wife was an athletic trainer in her former life, and she made the observation that maybe it's like a contusion or a bruise, just got a kind of a stinger. So I'm thinking Marshawn Lloyd's fine. Clearly they didn't take him in for anything further, so he'll probably be fine. Colin Oliver, you mentioned, we've talked about him numerous times, a guy that's fully engaged. I hope the hammy's doing well. He seems to be kind of on the cusp of them letting him get involved here at some point. So keep your eye on number 45. I believe he's wearing 45. And Quay Walker progressing along really nicely. Clay, you got a text from me this morning. I got excited when the boys ran out and they started doing early on, warm-ups. The ones were running with the ones, and I saw Quay out there at the mic, and I thought, oh my goodness, he's got pads, he's got a helmet. Is he going to be a go today? And lo and behold, they pulled him back, and he was working with the rehab group the rest of the day. But Quay Walker is progressing pretty nicely. So, that's about as much of an injury update as I could really give you guys based on what I've seen. And then obviously Christian Watson, we know, the unspoken truth is he's way ahead of schedule. It's important for us not to get ahead of our schedule and give him time to get back. But certainly I think Christian Watson will be back sooner than expected for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Jake? If I could pull those injuries back up, I'll rattle them off to you. This is just video of Quay. My man looks healthy, does he not? I mean, look at the ankle. There's no limitation there at all. It doesn't seem like they're just easing him back in. I'm excited to see Quay and Coop work together this year for sure. Jacob.
Yeah, no, he looks like a monster right now. He looks real good. I expect him to come out and have – I do expect him to have his best year. I really do this year.
Mm-hmm. Emilio, you got anything else on the injury front here, man? I mean, this seems kind of too good to be true. Seems like in the past, as soon as we start camp, we got like 12 injuries. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I was listening to Matt's presser there real quick before I got on. He was just saying they were like asking him, anybody from like the PUP or anybody like that coming back? He goes, yeah, Elton. And just left it at that. Like, Matt is just unbelievable. Now I love him. And Goody was talking about the tackle, John, right? He said Goody was kind of saying in his presser that that's probably going to be a little bit more long term. I honestly think he's going to be on the injury list, and I think he's going to go in as a pup player on the team. I don't think they're going to square that away before the end of training.
I think what you'll probably get there is they'll just throw him on IR. He's done.
Yeah, there we go. Probably right? Just to get him through. Because if we can get him past cuts and he's still hurt, I mean, put him on IR, then we'll figure it out from there. That's my take on that one. But I love to see every day. I'm waiting to hear from Tim on Quay's update. So I just can't. I love it.
Yeah, no, that's kind of how I see it. Just go ahead and put him on the IR, right, mm-hmm. and just call it a year. And not like he was going to compete. I don't think he was going to compete for playing time. You never know.
It's busy up there. You got my boy. He's hooey. So I don't want to be taking reps away from my man.
Who's your boy? What do you? Who?
No need to say it. Everybody knows it.
Who that? Who that?
What you got, Jake?
I just was curious about your guys' opinion on this. Mr. Fishy Things. Well, I don't know if it's a Mr., but I'm assuming. He says, Peter Bukowski seems to think Green Bay is interested in Wilkins. I don't see it. Anyone else buying that?
What was his source, Fishy? Did he give a source or did he just say, I think Green Bay's in?
I personally wouldn't be interested. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so the Christian Wilkins thing, and again, we're kind of talking about injuries here. We may come back to it in a minute and have a little bit deeper conversation on it. He's done some questionable things on the football field. If you just go to Twitter and type in Christian Wilkins, and you'll probably, if you just click media, you'll see him sticking his hands where they shouldn't be on opposing players on the field and stuff. So yeah,
you can't do that.
He's kind of a
especially in the
different.
club.
Yeah, he was checking people's oil right there on the field. You know what I'm saying? So you got that aspect, and then it was said on the Pat McAfee show by Adam Schefter that the reason he got released was, and this is Adam Schefter saying this, I don't know how far it went, that he kissed a teammate on the forehead and it pissed him off and he kicked him off the team. So in the locker room, he walked over and kissed the teammate on the forehead. So I don't know, again, and Peter Bukowski, listen, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that other than I hate it when people go, I think Green Bay's interested in him or that. Okay, what? You don't have a source? You're not even going to say a source?
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
There you go, yeah.
I don't listen too much Taylor Swift.
We just had a super chat. Let's hit that real quick. Sorry. Nodak, Mike, good to see you, buddy. Says Malik Willis has looked really good in camp so far. He has, to the best of my knowledge, everything I've seen. He's kind of going up against the backups for the most part. Wildy was actually on that side of the field when he was reporting earlier today, and he said it was kind of the backup players on that side of the field, and on the other side was the ones it sounded like. So I've said it time and time again, man. I'm really, really excited that Malik Willis is our backup quarterback. But thank you for the super chat there, Mike. Appreciate you. Jake, do you have something else? I've seen you over there giggling.
I'm just laughing at the chat.
Yeah, I'm with you, Coach.
Coach Lynn, I'm with you, man. Yeah, we got a problem, man. I'm a grown-ass man, dog. I'm a grown man.
And I got to be honest with you, man. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. The person who's saying that Packers have interest in him, they could sign him. They could. But the person who's saying that the Packers had interest in him actually had a run-in with John Kuhn on Twitter before because John Kuhn called him a drama queen, and then he came back and tried to get John Kuhn canceled.
Yep.
And then John Kuhn, of course, found the receipts where said gentleman had tweeted the same exact thing out a couple of years prior, and he ended up looking like an absolute moron for trying to get John Kuhn canceled. John Kuhn beloved Packers, so
yep.
I just say careful who you listen to. I'll just leave it at that. But anyway,
she said Murph. Stop it,
Murph.
Oh.
Holy, it's spicy tonight, bro.
Well, listen. Let's just move it along. Anyway, that was your injury update. Somehow, that was your injury update.
Just
Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate you.
It's my fault. Sorry.
Was that you, Tim? Tim, did you?
No,
just
that was definitely not me. I promise.
That was definitely Amelia. Look at his face red up.
Oh, we're gonna give him some.
All right, so there you go. There's your injury update. I don't know how I'm gonna edit all that together for a video.
Coach in the chat.
Thank you so much, Jacob. Appreciate you, buddy. You're always keeping us right on topic here. I want to pull up Tim's feed here real quick because you got some really good shots here earlier, and then we're going to get into all the camp updates that we have. All right, so what we got right here, Tim? I know you were surprised you were on the defensive side of the field today, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hold up. AFM's mom says, "I'll take the forehead kiss."
Not with that forehead.
No,
that's a 5-head, not a 4-head.
That's a 5-head. Yeah.
God almighty. Sometimes I wonder, why the hell do I do this to myself? Why do I even log on and do live streams? You know what I mean? Seriously, that forehead right there, you need some ointment for that. There's no doubt about it. But all right, go ahead, Tim. What are we looking at here, big dog?
I was going to say, I think you might be able to run audio on here. There was no music in the background. You can just kind of see Coach Covington working with the guys here. They kind of split off. They were working, inside and outside technique, kind of in tandem. And then you see Rashawn Gary working, getting a retape here towards the end. But really keep an eye on Barron Sorrell.
Let's go back to that. That's Barron right there, right?
Yeah, 99. Dang. I mean, look at the sled. It almost left Ray Nitschke Field, launched into orbit. It's a big dude right there.
Almost landed over at the Quick Trip.
Yeah, for sure. So just the guys doing work. And, you can see everybody is all hands on deck. Focused, locked in, even guys that are away from the drill, working their way through the rotation. They know that Bane Gary is keeping a watchful eye over them. That's the thing I'm noticing about this D-line group, man. Nobody wants to upset Rashawn out there. They're all trying to outwork him and match that intensity, and it's something really cool to see. And then, of course, Coach Covington, you see here, hands-on as always, really working well with the guys.
That's a great shot, Tim. That's good camera.
Absolutely love that, Tim. It looks like they're doing, like you're getting prepped for a guard pulling at you. The tackle crashes down, pinches down, and you got to go up and you got to fill that, man. You got to make contact. We saw Baron Sorrell do that. We saw it a couple times with LVN, just going through the chalk talk and all that. But I mean, I love that he's teaching him all these little things that we're going through, and he's so hands on with them. I cannot wait to see the season.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It wasn't so much the initial hit on the sled. It was how are you coming off of that? That's what they were stressing for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So here's the defensive front working with Coach Covington again, right? Get that muted down there. So what we got here, Tim?
I don't think we had any curse words. I think you might be able to run the audio here if you want to hear the sounds of football. We might be able to get a little bit in here.
Let's get it.
Look at Gary. Oof.
Don't you miss hearing that sled engage, Jacob?
Oh, you got to love it.
Sounds like me hitting the fridge at 2 a.m.
All you're hearing in this is Coach Ogabasi and Coach Covington. That's who's screaming.
Notice the legs continue to drive, right? Watch the legs. Watch the legs. Chop, 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 chop. Release. Bang.
So absolutely. That's a big boy.
Yeah, Jacob, man, this has got to get you excited, right, dude? Football's right around. We got football Thursday night, boys.
Yeah, that's right.
It's crazy.
Yes. Hall of Fame game coming up.
Made it. Anything you boys want to add to this before we move on to the next one? We good?
Just again, I'll reiterate what I've been saying since the start of camp. Coach Ogabasi going into his second year with us, Coach Covington in his first year. These two guys look like they grew up together. I swear. The way they work together, the way they communicate, the way they have these guys working in unison. I mean, it really is. It's something special to see, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Fishy Things, who just became a member here on YouTube. Appreciate you, buddy. We will make sure that you are entered into the next giveaway, which got to decide what we're going to do this week, Chance. I think we may do an autographed Lucas Musgrave rookie card. Luke Musgrave. Sorry, Luke Musgrave. I was looking at Lucas Van Ness here on the video. So that'll be the next one. Also, we're looking for Rodney Jens, Jacob Clay, or Dave Colvin. Okay.
Jacob Clay?
Dude, that's fake.
That's what I thought. Rodney Jens was the actual winner of the autographed Dontavion Wicks rookie card. So make sure you guys reach out so we can get that to you.
Yeah, I want to go ahead. I'm going to donate an all-you-can-eat buffet pass for the Oval Office as well, just to sweeten.
Ooh,
yeah, it's
nice.
Is that with Bunny Bucks, or do they not have those there?
No, they're Shroot Bucks.
Only valid when Jacob's not working, right?
Yes, exactly.
So again, look at LVN. LVN's a monster, man. Seriously.
Wait, can we go back? Hit the top of this clip real quick. Can we just circle that right shoe right there? Look at that. See,
right
I'm telling you, that white boy swag Tucker Kraft had. There's another pair of Jordan 11s on a white boy on this team. You got to love it, man.
And no mid calves too, Tim. Ankle socks, no mids. I mean,
Nothing.
Come on now.
Let's go, big boy stuff. Let's go.
God, unbelievable, man. All right, so just surprised nobody wears the New Balance I wear. You know what I mean? Look at Baron Sorrell here. Let's hear it.
Ooh, look at him throwing that. What?
Yeah.
Coach is sitting there. Good hit, my boy. Now get this thing off of me.
Watch the coach. He comes off so vicious. Watch the coach. Is it just me, or does the coach look scared when he sheds this? Watch the coach.
He was like, hold on. Okay.
Yeah. Let's watch him again. Second rep. Got to straighten it out. I'm excited about Baron Sorrell.
Man, they got new sleds. They got that little half circle right there to keep that thing from falling over all the way. I love that.
Dude, lots of new toys at camp this year. Lots of cool stuff to see out there.
Yeah, a lot different than that one you got at the house, right? I mean, I know you duct tape a pillow onto a lawn chair.
I just run into a tree for 3 hours. That's all I do.
Exactly. So, Tim, man, these are great shots, dude. I can't thank you enough for grabbing.
Oh, for sure, man. Glad I was able to get a couple.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And then what we got here, O-line, D-line drills. We'll just throw that in the background as we talk here.
We could probably run audio on this, maybe, I think. I'm trying to think.
So you got Jordan Morgan there at left guard, or are they just going in twos, aren't they?
It looks like it, yeah. Really focusing on the tackles and the edges, I think, on this one.
Morgan.
Don't mind the play-by-play from people standing next to me. But no, it's really cool just to get this close. You know, when they work on that south end of the field, man, it's, you know, my opportunity to get you guys some shots like this, and you're up close and personal seeing them work.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, dude. Awesome. All right, so let's get into the details of what happened at camp today. Listen, we may run through a couple of different Twitter feeds. We're going to start with Rob Domofsky, all right, because he actually, I was telling the guys, he done a really good job of tweeting and then commenting on his tweets, so you get it in order rather than backwards. But let's just kind of run through this. He's got the guys coming out of the locker room here, right? Practice number 5, first one with the pads on. Is there anything that we noticed them coming out? There's Marshawn Lloyd before he had to leave, obviously. But, I mean, we're pretty darn healthy, boys. Pretty darn healthy. There's Malik Willis coming out. There's J Love. Yeah, the guys are looking good. So let's go down here. First look at Elgton Jenkins. This is Elgton Jenkins' first practice reps, I guess you could say. And wide receiver Savion Williams appears to be progressing through the concussion protocol. He's going through position drills again today. That's all he did yesterday. So we'll see if he's a bigger participant today. So we'll see if we get any updates on that. I'm excited to watch Savion Williams, Emilio, in training or in preseason, man. Hopefully he can get that concussion right, and let's see what he can do on the field. Because here's what you're going to see, guys. You're going to see Malik Willis throwing to Savion Williams. Probably a little bit of Matthew Golden too, I would imagine. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's right around the corner. But
no, absolutely. And just getting eyes on him. That way Matt can kind of get an idea of what he feels, you know, in his offense, what he kind of likes, what Savion likes, and what Matt thinks he can do. We'll go from there. We can build on it. Doesn't need to be a house right away, right? We can work on the foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a bunch of people in there. If you would take a quick second, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all making us part of your evening. Rob Domofsky went on to say linebacker Quay Walker also doing more each day, has not done team yet. So you're seeing him out there doing some individual drills, you know, a little more consistently, I guess you could say. I think Quay's right around the corner. He's going to be ready to go, man. The ankle looks good too, right? Yep. To the best of my knowledge, there's no brace. It doesn't look like it's like any more heavily taped than it normally is, right? Yep.
That's what I picked up on too. If you look at him, his left and right ankle look like they're equally taped.
Yeah, just normal spat, right?
Yeah, normal spat, and just trying to see how he moves. A lot of turning the hips, a lot of cutting, start, stop, and shoot. He was doing fumble recovery yesterday. Today he was, getting a little more active, doing a little bit of hitting. I think it's a matter of time before we see Quay a full go.
Yeah, completely agree. Rod Mosky goes on to say, running back Marshawn Lloyd slow to get up and then limped off after he appeared to take a hit in the legs. Appeared to be Nate Hobbs. That's what we were talking about. Lloyd is still on the field, but he doesn't have a helmet and is just watching from behind the huddle. And we'll move on to the Matthew Golden. I will say this. There were several people reporting that Zach Tom immediately went to Nate Hobbs and got in his face. I love that. Listen, I love that Nate Hobbs is being physical, but I also love that Zach Tom, he's got the contract now. He had the credibility on the field. Now he's got the credibility in the pocket, right? And he's going to be one of these dudes, Jacob, that I think Zach Tom is going to step up and be a leader on this offensive line. So now you got Elgton anchoring at center. You got Zach Tom, newly paid, confidence through the roof. Love the fact that he was the one that went to Nate Hobbs like, hey, boy, this ain't going to fly. I just love it.
Yeah, I mean, two things can be true at once. I absolutely love the aggressiveness of Hobbs and the way that he's willing to kind of set that tone. Also love on the opposite end that a guy like Zach Tom feels comfortable enough to go up to him and say, hey, man, this is friendly fire. You know, you got to stop that. Again, like two things can be true at once, you know, and I really do appreciate what Hobbs is doing because I want that aggressiveness level to be raised to the point where, like, you know, we don't want to be hurting our own guys. So obviously you have to pump the brakes a little bit, but I love the fact that Zach Tom has finally found a little bit more of a leadership role. I think he's been a very quiet presence in the locker room, but I like him stepping up and feeling like he can be vocal enough. You know, it is crazy to think we could go from having what I would say was probably the liability on our team last year would be the offensive line to now thinking that it could be shored up in a very quick and aggressive fashion when you got guys like Banks coming in here. Obviously, we're going to see what's going on with that left guard or with the right guard position. But you guys know how I feel about Rasheed Walker. I think that we need to keep him. If I hadn't, if it was up to me, I'd give him the bag, not a huge one. I'd try to maybe get like a Zach Tom friendly deal. But just imagine if we do have staples all throughout that. If we have Zach Tom, Walker, and then Elgton in the middle, and then plug in whatever guards you'd like. And I really do think that is quite an overhaul of that offensive line group. And I'm looking at these guys looking like we're going to have road graders. And man, I just am excited to watch Josh Jacobs absolutely eat.
I wonder if Zach Tom walked up to Nate Hobbs and was like, "Hey, bro, you're making the team, right? Like, don't worry. You're gonna make this team. Don't worry. Just
you're all good, man.
Chill out on my guys real quick, right? Protect your offense at all costs." And to your point, Jacob, it's absolutely right, man. I mean, Zach Tom and Elgton Jenkins, man, those are your guys on that line. And I'm with you, man. Hopefully, Sheed gets his money, and we got a third one there. We've got our pillars,
Pay that man his money.
Rob Demoski also tweeted out live as a rookie wide receiver, Matthew Golden with a strong hands catch on the sideline against Keyshawn Nixon in one period, and then in the next appeared to mistime a jump on a high throw from Love that went off Golden's hands for Nate Hobbs' interception. They said Nate Hobbs left for 3 plays, came back, and immediately intercepted a ball.
Built your ass. BTA.
So Nate Hobbs is starting to pop here. I've heard multiple accounts, like they said, like when you look at Rob Demoski's account here, this Matthew Golden thing, strong hands catch on the sideline, right? And then the next one appeared to mistime a jump. I heard other people say Jordan Love airmailed it, and I heard other people say that it was going to be a tight window throw where Love had to get over the defense under the over-the-top coverage. So you get like 3 different stories there, right? It just depends on who you want to listen to. But nonetheless, the reason the ball got picked off, Matthew Golden jumped up, it tipped off the top of his fingertips and goes over to Nate Hobbs. But again, man, the thing we're seeing is Nate Hobbs flashing everywhere, right? And also, I remember Wildy saying live in his coverage that the Matthew Golden catch on Keyshawn Nixon, it was great coverage by Keyshawn Nixon. Matthew Golden just made a hell of a catch. So you're seeing Golden flash at camp. You're seeing Nate Hobbs flash at camp. You're seeing Quay Walker looking healthy. Elgton Jenkins is back in the fold now. Boys, I'm telling you, it's looking good. This is looking, like this is the healthiest we've been in a long time. And then, oh, by the way, come late October, early November, we'll be getting Christian Watson back too, barring any setbacks. So exciting stuff. This guy asked Rob Demoski, how's the energy? Of course, Rob just ignored him. But Tim, how was the energy today? How would you rate it, man? Did you feel like it was pretty solid today?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You always get that high energy when the pads come on, right? And that may be what we're dealing with a little bit with Hobbs, right? You put the pads on, you're going a little bit faster, you're hitting a little harder. It was intense, man. I've said that from the get-go, even before the pads came on. We saw this team hit the ground running from day one, and today was no exception. If anything, I'd argue that maybe the intensity was turned up another notch today. So keep your eye on these boys going forward because everybody seems locked in. You got guys fighting for spots. There's competition, but you've got that good balance between veteran leadership and young players that understand what we're trying to do here this year. And it feels like everybody's bought in at this point.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jacob. You good?
Sorry, I was just going to ask you guys a question. Coach brought it up earlier in the chat, but Dave Garcia here just said the Cowboys left tackle just tore his ACL. I don't want to trade Walker, but his trade value will never be as high as it is right now. What are your thoughts on that? I believe that Coach Lynn said yes. Guyton, the offensive lineman, might have tore his ACL. Tyler Guyton.
It's a first-round pick, right? We actually had him slightly higher than Jordan Morgan on our draft board when we took Jordan Morgan, if I remember correctly. So, I mean, my stance doesn't change with Rasheed Walker. If someone's willing to give you a second-round pick for him, that's enticing. It is. But, man, the fact that you, again, take it back. What happened in the Eagles game, right? The offensive line fell apart because of one injury.
Yep.
Now, if we go trading a Rasheed Walker, we're kind of right back in the same boat that we were in. That's the way I see it. I don't know.
Great point. Great point. Because that's my thought. Who's ready to play left tackle right now? Who's ready to be your starting left tackle in Green Bay? If you can't answer that question, then you don't trade Rasheed Walker.
Yeah. I don't want to do it.
At the earliest, let Rasheed Walker go out there and play left tackle, right? And then as you get close to the trade deadline, if someone's in a real bad pinch and they want to offer you the farm and you don't plan on re-signing him, then maybe you think about it, right? Because maybe by then Jordan Morgan's up to speed, he could play left tackle. But again, I'm with you, Jacob. Tim, I don't want to do it. What do you think, Emilio? What would it take? Let me ask it this way. I'm gonna put you on the spot. It's gonna be like Judge Judy. Right?
He thinks Glover's starting left tackle. That's why he don't care.
Yeah, listen, you're not allowed to answer anything Glover here, okay?
Okay.
What would it take for you to trade Rasheed Walker away? Don't say nothing because you know something. It may be 3 first-round picks. Whatever it is, what would it take for you to go, I'll trade Rasheed for that?
I mean, I would, if we got a second and a third out of him, third and a first, second and a third, something like that, sure. If they're in that much of a pinch, all right, that's a screaming deal. That's a screaming deal. You're telling me you got a 7th round pick and you flip that for a second and a third or a first and a third or something like that. I need 2 picks.
If you're not wanting to re-sign him, right? So
Right. Yeah. And the way kind of Matt was talking was, let's get Belton settled outside. Maybe Morgan already knows what he's doing outside. We're just wanting to get the reps to Belton on the outside. I think that there's enough in there. I mean, we have, John, who's probably not going to be on the team at the moment. We have a lot of, linemen in the pipeline. But then if we're moving Rasheed, we have to kind of rely on Elgton for another year or two beyond this year. I think that if you're willing to move Rasheed, you have to be willing to bend a little bit and hold Elgton here as the glue piece, in the center. I think that would be my only stipulation.
Got it. So trade Glover for NFL Blitz 2000. Chuck Jaggers. Emilio, man, your boy.
I'm telling you.
If he makes I'm gonna defend Emilio because Glover's been balling out so far. I know we're early in camp, but Glover's looked better than he did last year so far.
What we need to do? We need to put.
I'm telling you, Clay. What about I don't forgot who called me out, but it's the wheelbarrow is going to be rolling in down the sidewalk at practice if he makes that 53.
Here's what I need. I need somebody who's hearing my voice right now, and I know how you degenerates are on X. I need somebody to create the Photoshop from the concert, the Coldplay concert. I need it to be Emilio. I need it to be Emilio and Travis Glover is what I need. Okay.
So Emilio's holding Glover because that's how it would go.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you. All right, let's see what Mike Spofford had to say about practice. Let's get this thing back on the rails here. Okay.
I heard Glover switching the corner. I love it.
And that source was Emilio, right?
You heard it from a fan right here.
You guys don't understand. We were in Nashville, me and Emilio and the lady friends, and also known as our wives. I don't know why I said lady friends.
Yeah, get us in trouble over here.
So, jeez. We're walking across the bridge from our hotel. We had a great spot. We're walking across the bridge to Nissan Stadium. Emilio's carrying 2 bananas because he said he don't want to cramp up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be damned if we didn't walk right towards the stadium and there's a Packer fan wearing a Travis Glover jersey.
Shut up.
It was unbelievable.
I should have ran him down right then.
I told you 44 PFF grade. I told you.
I was trying to. What, he played 13 snaps all season before the playoff game? Come on now.
Unbelievable. It blew my mind. I was just like, hell, maybe he is Jim. No.
Is that a real story?
Yeah,
that's
no,
a real
story. I should have got a picture.
Here's what makes it better, Jacob. It was a pristine auction autograph. Was it not, Emilio?
Yeah, no, it was clean. It was like the cleanest jersey I've seen.
He was the best guy around.
I'm done.
Coach says they make those?
Look at Chuck Jaggers. Who the hell bought that?
Next time I'm stopping him and we're taking a picture. It could have been Travis Glover's dad, honestly, for all we knew. Like it.
The J. Cole says it must have been family.
I would have been hype. I would have been. I'm a part of the Glover train over here. No one wants to get on him.
As y'all are talking about this nonsense, I'm sitting there thinking we got to get this back on track. And every time I look up, the numbers keep going up. There's more viewers now than there has been the whole time talking about Travis Glover. So. Anyway, Mike Spofford said rookie cornerback Micah Robinson stays with wide receiver Matthew Golden nicely on an out and up. Clifford had nowhere to fit the ball in. So Micah Robinson getting a good little rep there. If you guys want to know a little bit more about Micah Robinson, if you go to our Patreon group, we put an article up when we drafted him and kind of gave you his whole background. If you want to see what he does well, just go to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. Love with a beauty on a deep out to Golden with Nixon in tight coverage. That's the one we talked about. Nice rollover grab by the rookie. Brenton Cox, here we go, Jacob. Brenton Cox bringing the physicality versus the run. A lot of heavy contact on that edge. Willis finds rookie Savion Williams on a deep over, then checks down nicely to tight end Sims on shallow release off the bootleg. So they had a little leak off the boot there. But Savion Williams, boys, on a deep over. Let's go. Let's get it. So
here's the guy.
Harley's, I think he meant Halfley. Halfley's defense bluffing blitz looks, sending others, forcing Love to react. He finds Jaden Reed underneath to convert on third down, then slightly high throw, glances off of Golden's outstretched hands and lands in Hobbs's for the INT. We kind of talk about that. And then Tucker Kraft wide open on the bootleg right. Love changes the arm angle to avoid a free rusher and puts it on him. But running game for ones, not getting much done yet. So just a couple of updates here, and then we'll get into the McManus stuff here in a minute. I definitely want to wrap up with that. Mike Spofford says defense gets another punch out. This one from Evan Williams versus Kraft after the leak out into the flat, but the ball went out of bounds. So that's here. A couple things here. Can I be a negative Nancy for just a second? Just a second. That's a second fumble, right? 2 days in a row, Tucker Kraft has had a ball punched out of his hands.
Hey, you don't say that.
But yeah, right. Keep it going, Tim.
I'm in town to play the Dolphins, you dumbass.
There it is. All right, so you can look at that one of two ways, right? Tucker Kraft having trouble holding on the ball, or does Jeff Halfley have these boys buzzing to the ball and punching that thing out, a little peanut punch, right? I think you got a little bit of that going on too. So that's just a little update, like I said, from our boy Mike Spofford, one of the best follows on Twitter, man. I'm just telling you right now.
Spofford's awesome. Him and Wes Hockowitz for sure. Yeah. Like you said so well the other day, man. I mean, really the best two beat writers we have are in house. Go to Packers.com. Mike Spofford, Wes Hockowitz. I mean, they're second to none for real.
Tim, is there any way that you could back this up? What Coach Len says? He says, I heard Bo has been sticky also. Is there any truth to that? Have you actually watched how he's doing in that cornerback room?
Yes, from what I've gotten to see of the secondary and the little bit of exposure I've had to seeing Bo out there in some of those team exercises, he looks good, man. He doesn't. I mean, to me, he doesn't look like a receiver trying to play cornerback. He just looks like an athlete doing something that's, maybe he hasn't been asked to do, recently, maybe since high school or something like that. But he looks good out there. I mean, sticky enough, to be considered a legit corner, at least during training camp. We'll see what happens with this room, but I think there's truth to that statement. I don't see him getting run over. I don't see him, ending up on his butt out there at all. So keep your eye on number 16 now? Is he wearing 16?
16, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
How crazy would it be
on Bo? It'd be crazy if, after all this talk that we come out of training camp and Bo proves to be like a legit serviceable corner and makes this practice squad. It'd be amazing.
I was going to say, how crazy would it be in a draft that has Travis Hunter, that our guy, Bo Melton, switches positions and is able to do the double? That'd be crazy.
That's true. They drafted Travis Hunter to do that. Is it crazy to think that we could take a guy that's, played a couple years in this league and ask him to do it? Keep your eyes on Get Busy Bo, man. You never know.
We got 160 people watching on YouTube and only 64 likes. I hate to ask, but if you guys would take a quick second right below this video, just hit that like button for us real quick. That'll help more than you know. We appreciate y'all. Matt Schneiden, this one I'm excited about. I cannot talk about this too much right here, right? Matt Schneiden, through 3 kicking practices, Brandon McManus is now 23 of 23 after adding makes from 36 and 43 to win the 2-minute drills for starting and backup offense.
He was the best guy around.
And as Clint says, 100% field goal percentage in camp.
They don't call him McMoney for nothing, baby. Let's go.
I'm telling you, I'm so fired up for McManus being our kicker for the next 3 years, man. So
absolutely.
Yeah. BTA, Blake B says Brandon McManus, BTA.
I wish I could put Holmes.
I'm telling you guys, I was watching him today. He was shagging punts from Danny Whelan a little bit before practice really got going. And I'm telling you, Brandon McManus can throw that football, guys. Do not sleep on the little razzle dazzle here on a field goal attempt.
You think so?
I'm telling you, he's spinning it at least 30, 40 yards. McManus can
tell him about that fake field goal on Madden, baby.
Okay, you want to do the one. You want to do the one where he tosses it over his head to the kicker, because I'm telling you, if you try to get it directly to the snapper, it's not going to work. Snapper catch it over the top. You obviously got to hit B on the little out route. Hopefully no one's covering him.
But I'm telling you, that's my point. Like, if you're asking McManus to throw like a 15 or 20 yard out, like he's gonna hum that tater. I'm telling you, I seen it.
I seen it.
I love it.
There's nothing better than going up by 20 points on a 13-year-old playing Madden and then scoring and running that fake field goal on the extra point. It just feels so good.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, I'm going to block this one extra point. No, sir, I'm taking 2 from you, and it's going to be with my kicker.
You can block.
Unbelievable. All right, last thing here, just a quick little recap from Rob Demovsky, and we'll get ready to wrap this big bear up. As he just, and some of the stuff we already talked about, but he just kind of summed up, said that's it for the first pads practice. All right, Love hit Jaden Reed 3 times in the 2-minute, including a 23-yarder to set up the game-winning field goal. All right, so Jaden Reed, still that dude. Still that dude. That's going to be Love's go-to guy. There's no doubt about it. Number 2 offense also won the 2-minute thanks to a big catch by Malik Heath from Malik Willis, although Brenton Cox might have sacked him. I did see that too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Of course, Jacob didn't see it, but yeah, he did. And then the practice lasted 1 hour, 56 minutes. So one thing that LaFleur said too going into practice was he was excited about the heat. He was excited about getting these guys uncomfortable. Matt LaFleur sounded a little bit like a psycho killer this year. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. And then he goes out there and has to calm down Nate Hobbs, right? But you know, after Matt LaFleur calmed down Nate Hobbs, he walked off and went, hell yeah.
Yeah. So, because how much fire can Matt LaFleur bring? He's gonna bring that kind of attitude, that mentality, but he can't be on the field with these guys. Like they're gonna have to turn each other up if that's the case. So I think he's carrying himself well right now.
Yeah, I like what Prince says. This year, kicker talk is free, which is nice. Last year,
we were making some hay on kicker talk last year.
Yeah, we had a lot of kickers to talk about last year, didn't we?
Yeah, Mandy was like, I feel like your super chats are down this year. I'm like, we got a kicker. I don't know what to tell you. We got a kicker now. So,
hey, real quick, while we mentioned Brenton Cox there, Jacob, you'd be happy to know that, it's no secret at this point in camp that Keyshawn Nixon is the first guy on the field every single morning. It's well documented. But the second guy on the field, at least today, was Brenton Cox Jr. He was out there early getting his work in. Looks like he's added 10 pounds of human meat muscle, So Jacob should be pretty happy for this year with Brenton Cox Jr. Keep your eyes on number 57 out there for sure.
Hell yeah.
Emilio, you got anything else, man? Anything at all? It's good to have you back.
No, absolutely. Good to be back. I need to get back into some of the pods there, listen to a little Move the Sticks, try to get us back on track there. But right now, think about it. We've gotten through. We got Elton here. Tom got paid. There's a lot of good things happening. We're talking about, not great things that happened to the Ravens with Josh Knee. We got the Cowboys, with tackle losing his ACL. So, there's other things that could be happening. We got to be really happy with where the team is right now. A week into this. So I really, cannot wait. Everyone's working hard. That's what it's about.
Nice little shot here. Let's crank it up for just a second. Here's Quay Walker hitting the sled and then going through a tackle drill. You ready? Here we go. Love it. He's looking good, boys. Tim, I know you're excited.
Dude, I'm fired up, man. That's I love my Georgia guys, right? Quay's got family where I've got family down there. It's just a special connection I've had with him these past 3 years. So really looking forward to seeing him back on the field, full go.
No doubt about it. And I believe that was actually Bill Huber, that tweeted that out. So shout out to him. I'm telling you, Bill Huber's a great follow, and his writing is phenomenal, straight to the point. Does a really good job for Sports Illustrated. So make sure you guys go give him a follow. I'm sure you already are. So, Jacob, you got anything else, man, before we wrap up? Good.
No, guys in the chat, you guys killed it tonight. Really appreciate that. As we get closer to the season, we have a lot of people watching live, which we really appreciate. If you guys, again, I wouldn't want to beat a dead horse, but hit that like, hit the subscribe, and if you can,
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
the more we can get eyes on this podcast, whatever we're doing, we're a bunch of clowns up here, but for whatever reason, people seem to like it, and we're all a bunch of absolutely diehard Packer fans here. And like Clayton says, we're not experts, we're not insiders. Although Tim's starting to sniff that, you know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is in there making hayway. So, I just this season is going to be awesome. It's going to be absolutely just off the chain, and I just can't tell you guys how excited I am to share it with you. So,
we had a couple start in there, right, Jacob? Some super chats from earlier.
Super chats. We did.
Give them a shout out.
Let's look at this.
Nodak
Celestial
Mike,
Prophet talking about Lynn Dickey. Yep. Nodak Mike also in there. Yeah. And real quick, Nodak Mike also said that he's been at camp the last 2 days. Malik Willis has thrown dimes the past few days. Accurate, beautiful throws on target. I really do think, I don't know if you guys saw, but the Tennessee Titans released Treylon Burks today, which was a little bit surprising. And the fact that they've let a lot of their young talent go, like, do you think that they'd wish they could have a redo on Malik Willis? I think they would if it was me.
Fractured his collarbone, right?
Probably do. Yeah, that was more of a, when they waived him, it was more of a, okay, he's done here in Tennessee because he broke his collarbone. I think it was the final year of his deal, but I'm with you, Jacob. I think they do wish they had Malik Willis for sure, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Treylon Burks, I was big on him. It didn't have anything to do with his ability on the field. I found out that he was hunting hogs down in Arkansas with a knife, and I was like, that's my dude right there. That is my guy. Yeah. Kind of glad that didn't come to fruition. I think he was a 30 visit, too, if I remember correctly, for the Packers. So,
I thought so.
Yeah. Tim, we good? Anything else, Bob?
All good. Day off tomorrow. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.
That's right. Now, we will not be off tomorrow. We're going to be right back in here, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, talking some Green Bay Packers. We're going to kind of dive into as the smoke settles, right? Because you said there's no practice. Are the guys off tomorrow, or is it just not open to public?
That I don't know. I think who knows? There could be practice. I know it's not open to the public, though, if there is one.
Got it. Yeah,
you guys want me to get up early? I'll go hang around. See if
take the day off. So here's what the schedule looks like this week, guys. So tomorrow, what we'll probably do is just kind of get caught up on some of the updates, let the smoke clear out a little bit, and give you guys, all right, here's maybe take an updated look at the our lads depth chart, both offense, defense, just kind of reposition, all right, who's standing out, who isn't, type thing, just some casual conversation. Now, they're going to be back at practice open to the public on Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. Thursday, 10:30 a.m. Central Time for another open practice. They're off Friday, it looks like, or at least it's closed to the public. And then we're going to get into family night on Saturday the 2nd. We may do a live stream here for family night. If we do, it's going to be Tim and Jacob kind of leading that. I'm going to be at Bristol Motor Speedway watching the Braves and the Reds play that game. So I'll be out of the loop. I might be able to call in if service is good enough out there in Thunder Valley is what they call it. So if I could call in, we'll do that. But we'll definitely do a show. I'll do a live stream earlier in the day. And if the guys want to do a family night live stream, just kind of give you guys, just kind of hang out, crack open a daddy soda and give updates on what's going on with family night. That'd be a lot of fun. So, all right, that's it, guys. We're out of here. Appreciate you. Yeah, absolutely, man. Go ahead.
Sorry. Just so you guys know, the fantasy PTA Superflex Fantasy League is officially full. We've got, I think, 11 people coming back from last year. We have 3 newcomers. I've sent out those links, so it's probably going to be filled. I have seen a few people in the chat asking if there's going to be an overflow league. I would really encourage you guys, if you want to do an overflow league, let's do it. It'd be really, really fun. I kind of wish I got Emilio and Clay and Tim to just be in one because whatever. But if you guys are into it, just show some enthusiasm in the chat.
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
It'll get us going for the next league. So if we get more, that we'd probably want to have at least 10. It'd be great to have up to 12 or 14. So just keep pumping the chat with that acknowledgement there. And if enough of you guys are in there, then we'll do a second chat. Emilio, you're going to fantasy. You're going to be the commissioner of that one, right?
Jacob. I have 3 dynasty leagues going on. One of them's got like 28 people in there. I just won a nail biter last night, 28-27 in overtime. Okay, I'm busy.
Get ready to go.
I'm busy playing
I'm
video.
covered up.
Unbelievable, dude.
I honestly don't even know what you're saying. When you say super flex plus 2D minus a quarterback plus the kickers, I honestly don't even know what you're talking about on fantasy. I'm gonna be honest.
Unbelievable. So here's what we'll do. Jacob, in the Patreon group, let everybody know, you may already have. Let everybody know it's full, and just say everybody rapid fire as quick as possible. Let us know if you would be interested in joining an overflow league. And if so, then we might turn. Who was it? Andrew Matson? Am I thinking right?
Yeah, Andrew Matson would be. I think he'd be a great one to be the commish of that league. So
cool. So we'll do that, and yeah, we'll see if we get enough to fill in that second league. Now, can you run a league if it doesn't feel completely up? Like if you just get 5 teams, can you still run it like that?
You got to have an even number to draft, and you have to have. It'd be the very minimum would be 8 teams. It's not as fun. I would say 10 to 12 at the very least. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
just check Patreon. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah. If we get enough, we'll run a second league. But I'm really excited about that first league, man. It's going to be a blast keeping up with that. We'll give you guys updates on it all year long, and whoever finishes last, we give them a pretty rough time. So me and Emilio make fun of them for finishing last, and we don't even know how the league works. That's just how it goes. So yeah. But all right, appreciate everybody. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Everybody have a wonderful evening. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world, and go Pack Go.
There we go.
Bye, guys.